All right, howdy, toddy, Rebel fans. Welcome to episode 8, Rebel Nation Conversation. I'm Rebel Fan 69. My co-host over there is the Metal Rep. Together we make up the Rebel Nation Conversation podcast, your one-stop shop for uninformed and non-expert Ole Miss sports conversation.
Unsullied by sponsorship since 2025.
I wish we had a sponsor.
Yeah, no
Wonder who
kidding.
the hell it'd be right now.
We're just a couple of guys talking Ole Miss sports. That's it. Hope you hop on board with us.
Yeah,
Comment below, like, subscribe, jump
share
in
it.
there with us. Yep.
So, I'd like for you to I remember I kind of charged you last week. What would you do to make a change in the playoff? How would you make the playoff be good, a really good product, and we can do away with some of these lower tier bowl games or keep them, but give them to the G5 and
Yeah,
two teams.
that's actually you kind of read my mind on that. I at some point I think we need to give the G5 their own playoff, man, because my solution to fix the playoffs, first of all, until you get rid of the automatic bids, it's never going to be right. Whether you've got 4 teams, 12 teams, 6 teams, 46 teams, automatic bids are ruining the integrity of the playoffs because your your goal for the playoffs, and somehow the NFL gets this right, the NBA gets this right. You want your 12 best teams. Why is this so hard? Until you, as long as you have auto bids, you're going to have better football teams sitting at home watching freaking Liberty in the playoffs, and it's just infuriating. And so you start by getting rid of auto bids. And now we can debate until cows come home about how many teams should be in the playoffs. I told you last week, I'm not really a big fan of really increasing the number. Maybe go to 16. I kind of like where we're at with um with 12 teams. However, if we do increase, I like your idea about everybody playing week 1 and then reseeding, and then you can award certain teams buys. But I say get rid of the auto bids, and for now stay at 12 teams. Pick the 12 best teams, seed them according to the rankings.
Well, that would be a great start. In my mind, the auto bids it ruins the validity.
It ruins the legitimacy. James Madison and Tulane are in the playoffs, and Vanderbilt and Texas are home. Notre Dame's
Even if we
home.
throw Notre Dame in there, I mean, yeah, Notre Dame could beat anybody on the schedule right now if they had to, if they got a chance to play. No, Tulane can't. James
Vanderbilt can too.
Yeah, no. James Madison, Tulane cannot. Absolutely cannot.
They just can't.
It just takes a spot that could be a good football game.
They don't have good enough players. At the risk of just oversimplifying this, their players aren't good enough.
Absolutely.
Is that too simple?
No, it's not too simple, but evidently we're too far down that everyone wins a trophy road.
Yeah.
We've got to be inclusive. And why? I don't know. If you can't legitimately beat anybody in the bracket, if there's no legitimate chance for you to beat anybody in the bracket, you're just taking up a spot.
taken from someone else who didn't get there because of you.
It's
If they're so obsessed about money and they want more games for money, why wouldn't they have a G5 playoff run?
That's right. That's what I would like to see us do. And I mean, when I go over what I came up with here, you're going to see a room for that in what I came up with. Let them lower tiers, the Music City Bowl, the Motor City Bowl, lower tier, the Duke's Mayo Bowl, all that kind of stuff. Let them host all the G5 teams. And then, even not that they couldn't have a Power 4 team in there, but somebody that got in on APR, like a Mississippi State or an Auburn this year or somebody,
But if you did that, that would create excitement to those otherwise dead bowl games that, hey, man, we're part of a playoff run for North Texas State or USM or South Alabama or whoever. I would watch that game.
Yep.
I would watch that game.
Competitive, but you put somebody in, it's going to be competitive because it's the right kind of competition. It's James Madison versus North Texas. That's a good game.
Right, but as it is right now, if James Madison is playing North Texas in the Fruit Loop Bowl, you're not going to watch it this bowl season. But if that game was part of a playoff structure and the winner of that game advanced to the next round, I'd be inclined to watch that game.
Yep, it would give us something to watch. It would make us interested in it. Well, here's mine, and I kind of drew some pictures and stuff. But I'll start out with just what I kind of brought this up at the end of last week. I say the committee gives us the very Sunday following the conference championship games, just like they did right now. They give us their top 25 final rankings. We take the top 24 teams, and they're going to be seeded 1 through 24. 1 plays 24, 2 plays 23. It'll be a 12-game round one. Everybody plays.
So basically, you want the top 25 to get in the playoff.
Well, everybody but the 25th team. All right. So what I did was I took, and it said, doing it this way, you're only adding one. You're only adding the one. You're only adding the 1 week to it. So here we go. All right. After you have a round of 24, that's 12 games. And I just used the way this, played out this year. All right. After that first round, you've got basically what you've got right now, except for you've got these boys played into this. All right. As you can see, I've got Indiana winning against James Madison. Ohio State beating the crap out of Iowa and advancing. They're the number 2, just as they are. Georgia beating Georgia Tech and advancing as the number 3 team. Texas Tech beating Houston and advancing as the number 4 team. They would automatically get buys. Now, I'm all for the reseeding, like we talked about. But for this argument, I'm just saying, all right, they come out of this way, 1 through 4. Let's let them be the top 4 teams. Oregon beats Tulane. They advance as the 5th. Ole Miss beats Virginia. Advances as the 6th ranked team. A&M beats Michigan and goes in as the 7th ranked seeded team. Oklahoma beats Arizona. They're the 8th. Alabama beats Southern Cal and they're the 9th. Miami beats Utah and they're the 10th. Notre Dame beats Vanderbilt beats Notre Dame. There's my SEC bias coming in.
Yeah.
And advances as the 11th ranked, and 12 beats BYU. All right, so that gets rid of that first week, and that ends us up with we end up with this. All right, now if you'll notice, I've got those round 2s are going to take the place of some pretty prestigious, what we used to consider to be destination type bowls: the Sun Bowl, the Gator Bowl, Alamo Bowl, and the Citrus Bowl. All right. Not top 4 teams have received their buys to the same exact they are at right now. Right. Orange Bowl is where Texas Tech is sitting as a 4-seeded team. Indiana's the number 1 seed is at the Rose Bowl. Georgia's the 3 at the Sugar Bowl, and Ohio State's the 4th at the Cotton Bowl. And of course, I played this out, all the way. But basically, once you get past that first week of playoffs, you have what we have right now. But you have a good round of 12. And we can't say we didn't give the group of 5 because they were actually ranked. They were a ranked team. James Madison was a ranked team. They're ranked 24th. Now, is that a true good ranking? I don't know. In this, I even put it here. You see obvious SEC bias. I got Georgia winning the SEC in that. I mean, winning, but, obviously Indiana's a hell of a football team. I'll be quite honest with you. If Ole Miss can't win this damn thing, I'd like to see Kurt Signetti and them take it.
Same. Me too.
I think they've earned it. But the way that is, I mean, we could throw an extra week in here and give somebody a week off. But if you earn that top 4, you're getting a week off, right? You're getting a week off when you go for the round 2 buys. And so I just feel like that with basically no automatic bids. But if you're a ranked team, and there'll be a G5 team in the top 24, 25 ranking.
Yeah.
There has been for the past 4 or 5 years. We just didn't have to worry about it because we weren't having to automatically give them a spot in this field. But what I'm saying with the round of 24 is that would basically give us a good round of 12.
Yeah.
We'd knock them down low rents out quickly. Or they'd be knocked out. I don't know if it will have anything to do with it, but, so especially not next year. But you see what I'm saying? Yeah. I just feel like that gives us the best valid round of 12.
Well, and it would be the James Madisons of this world getting in would sting less if there are 24 teams in it. Man, when there's only 12 teams and not one, but 2 of those spots are taken up by teams that aren't even P4 teams.
So, but yeah, anyway, that was what I kind of felt like would be my little, how I would improve it.
That could definitely work. I feel like there's too many teams for a playoff, but it would work. I mean, from just a logistics standpoint, it would work. I just think making the playoffs should be a big deal, man. That should really be an achievement. And
well, I guess I'm trying to play both sides of the fence. I'm trying to give them their opportunity, but do it like you said, where it don't sting as bad, and we really get this. I mean, what was the play-in for the NCAA basketball tournament? It used to be 64 teams.
Yeah.
Now we got 68 to basically make it.
Just a money-making proposition. That's all it is.
Well, but again, it's throwing somebody in there that really didn't earn their position, but they're giving them an opportunity to earn it.
Yeah.
And just in that bracket I just showed you, if for some reason James Madison were to beat Indiana, well, they legitimately deserve to be there then. But if you
they still wouldn't get
you ain't gonna. If you couldn't beat them in round 1, you ain't damn sure ain't gonna beat them in round in the
3
semifinals. Yeah. So I mean, you best to find out right now. You can't beat them and give us a damn good show for the next. Round. That's the way I look at it. But we've had, this is I don't think nobody saw this one coming either. The way this happened, everybody would have thought the ACC is going to have it's a Power 4 conference. It's going to have a conference champion in the playoffs. Conference champions lost 5 football games this year. they got it. You know, I don't know about the SEC, and with the 9 games, I think it's going to take care of itself. I honestly do. I don't think we're going to have the kind of issue they did, but you know, they still have divisions. You know, Coastal and the Atlanta or whatever their divisions is. So you know, somehow a 5-loss freaking team. I don't know. Stop.
What a terrible mistake for the SEC to go to 9 conference games.
Yeah, I honestly I'd like to see us do away with them conference championship games. I think if we go to 9 games,
right?
Now
at
we're going to
least,
play 10. But
yeah.
After 9 games, if we end up with a tie, we got plenty of tiebreakers we can throw in there. I'd realize, like you said about the college basketball tournament, it's a moneymaker. The SEC championship game makes a lot of money for ESPN, and they ain't going to just easily give that up.
No.
But man, it don't make no sense for a team to go.
Look at Alabama. It almost cost them a playoff spot.
It almost cost them the playoff spot, but when it didn't, it caused a dadgum stink.
Yeah, and if that brand had been anybody else, it probably would have cost them a playoff spot.
I agree.
Did you know that teams are contractually obligated to participate in that game? In a conference?
I didn't know it for a fact, but I could definitely see that happening. I mean,
yeah. So as absurd as the idea sounds, I can see somebody saying we're declining participating in that game, but you're not going to have that opportunity.
No, not if we are, you know, and I guess if you want to be in this conference. But, you know, me and you both, we was talking, this is kind of off the subject, but me and you talking about having lane overload earlier. I'm having some Notre Dame overload.
You tired of hearing about them?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand they had they got a beef, and I'm not saying they don't. They got a case to be made. But gosh damn, join a conference. You know? They want to sit out there and be independent, not owe anybody nothing, you know, reap all the benefits, this, that, and the other, but then act like they've been wronged. They act like they're the victim.
Yeah.
Join a conference.
Now you want to talk about some low quality wins.
Yeah. But see, the whole world says that, I don't know, maybe me and you judge quality wins through them SEC bias glasses all the time, you know, but they honestly don't think we play anybody. You know that?
No reasonable person thinks that. I mean, any SEC schedule, even the easy SEC schedules you hear about, are better than sitting there every week and playing Navy and Boston College, and you know,
Notre Dame is playing
Rutgers
schedule pretty much.
Huh?
They're playing an ACC schedule without joining the ACC.
Except their schedule is easier than even a typical ACC schedule, if you can believe that.
Yeah, it's easier in Clemson.
Yeah. Because Clemson, you know, on top of their ACC games that they play, they still have to play South Carolina at the end of the season, and they typically play a P14 to open the season. That's a good team.
Yep. They played Auburn this year, right? And lost.
They played LSU. LSU beat them.
Yeah, it was LSU. Who was it Auburn played to start the year that everybody?
Auburn played Baylor.
Yeah. And they won the game and thought Auburn was back.
Auburn was back. Is Brother Hugh done? Is that it for him?
I don't see him doing much more unless he hires on it somewhere like a Southern Miss or something like that.
He's done in the big leagues.
I think he's done in the big leagues, yeah. games passed him by. He literally didn't change nothing from the time he hired on at Auburn. He didn't try to adapt to what was working out there. He just didn't. He never went out and got a quarterback. He needed a damn good quarterback. He never went out and got one.
Which is crazy. You know, with his history.
And if you have a good quarterback, you can live with almost a subpar team. Look at his teams at Ole Miss. We didn't have the best OL. We didn't have the best, especially not defensive side of the ball. 14 was great. Defense.
Them first 2 years, we had a lot of holes.
The main deal is we had a quarterbacks that could go out there and actually command the game. You know, could lead the team. Even Bo Wallace was a good on the field guy. You know, and played with guts and stuff like. And Chad Kelly, these guys could do it. So he won good with them. He goes to Auburn. You think he ought to be able to go and get him a quarterback, and he just never did. He never went and got anybody.
Yeah, I don't understand it. It cost him his job, though.
Damn sure did. And he had the second chance he always wanted right there given to him, and he just they you know Auburn they'd give him anything he asked for if he'd asked for it. They want to win.
I hope he takes care of himself, man. The next couple of years, he don't look right. I wish he'd just take care of himself. I mean, he's got millions of dollars. Man, just get yourself healthy.
Get yourself healthy. Come back. If you want to play, you could do the Division II route. You could you might could get a job at Southern. You know, you brought that up last week about Southern, and me and you both kind of ran a little experiment. I asked a good friend of mine, and they didn't act quite like you described your coworker, but he acted like it was sort of a slap in the face that I would even and my wife my wife says, you know, that Ole Miss people get looked down to, or they think we're looking down on them. You know, so it coming from an Ole Miss fan, maybe that's
it didn't go well. The guy I talked to immediately started. I could see it all over him. And it had, like you said, had somebody else asked him, it may have came across differently.
And I just don't see him going any other way. And then if they did that, they would hire a Hugh Freeze. I don't know nothing about this Blake Anderson. I know nothing about him.
They've got to be one of the worst fan bases in D1, man. There's not many schools that are putting less than 15,000 people in the stadium. D1 program. They're just ain't. And good games for them is 22,000. Man, what happened in that place? I remember they would routinely put 25,000, 30,000 folks over there every once in a while, sell it out. But they don't even, I don't even think they sold out a state over there last year.
No, but if they did, it was nothing but state fans. You know, there's quite a few state fans in this area, same as there is a few Ole Miss fans and everything. So just the Ole Miss, or just the state fans in the Pine Belt area probably could have filled up half of it.
Man, if we played USM in that stadium, which I hope to God we never do that, but if we did, we'd put 20,000 people easy.
Shit, we do more than that, man. If they give us the tickets, we put them in.
If they'd give us the tickets, we'd probably put 30,000 people there.
And we'd finance the entire football season that year.
Yeah.
And they would sell a lot. They would sell a bunch there because they've been wanting that game for as long as we can remember.
Oh, yeah. They jack up the prices just like Memphis used to do when we played them up there.
But that's why I hope we never, to me, there's just absolutely no gain whatsoever for Ole Miss to play them. But then, I mean, there's no game for us to play Citadel except for the fact that Citadel come to Oxford. Let us give them a big fat check, walk away with their loss like they was going to get no matter what, and and
I wonder.
it's played in Oxford. But see, the Southern fans that I know of, they literally don't think that they should have to agree to a home and home, or even an all in Oxford type deal with Ole Miss.
Well, that's because state don't. That's because state agrees to come to Hattiesburg.
Yeah, well, Ole Miss ain't got to do what state does. That's
Hell no. We're not going to Hattiesburg.
I mean,
it's embarrassing that we ever did to start with. And that weird game in Charlotte next year has already been moved. I knew it would be. Chase tried to tell me that game wasn't going to be moved. West ain't playing in no 14,000 seat stadium. The world's wrong with people, man.
Well, how'd you think of that schedule when it came out the other day? It's pretty tough to me. We get 8 wins out of that. We have done a good job.
Yes, sir. 9 SEC games and open neutral site game with Louisville with a brand new first time head coach.
Well, let's hope. I mean, look, man, all we got left to do now, we got to just hope it works. I mean, Dan Lanning was a first time head coach.
We can't talk about it some more and complain about it.
I don't know what good to do us, though. I mean, I'm so.
You ready to move on?
Well, I'm just ready. Like you said earlier, I'm ready to spot the ball. Let's see what the fuck we got. You know, I mean, that's all we can do.
Because whether we good or whether we ain't, it is what it is at this point.
Me and you still gonna be up there drunk as shit, hollering hotty toddy. That's all that matters.
Yeah, cheering them suckers on.
We were saddled with this from birth. That's what I tell people all the time. Did you go to Ole Miss? No, I didn't go to Ole Miss. I was born into this shit. I was saddled with it, and then I had to. Mm-hmm. But and I lived. My childhood. You just got to put yourself in my position. We moved in 1977. We moved to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and I was 7 years old. I had no freaking idea there was another school out there. I didn't know enough at that age to realize, I just knew we rooted for Ole Miss, but who they were playing, I guess, on television, that just didn't cross my mind. I don't know enough about the game at 6 and 7 years old,
You never dreamed those other teams had fans.
Hey, I got to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and found out there was another couple of teams up there, especially one. And but I tell you what, everybody wonders how I got this passion how I pull for Ole Miss. I pull for Ole Miss like Alabama fans pull for Alabama. You understand? It does not matter to me how they play. I get mad. I throw shit across the room. I cuss. I kick. I stomp. But I literally had a good friend who lived up there in Tuscaloosa. I may have told you this story all the time, and he was me in an Alabama as an Alabama fan. He would pace the floor if it was, and this was the very end of Bryant's years. All right. And, they won a lot of games with Bear Bryant there, 10-7, 13-3. They didn't have to put up a lot of points. They just had such a stifling defense. All they cared about was scoring more. They didn't care how many more. And this game was like 6-3, halftime. And my buddy is pacing that floor left and down right, and he can't move, and his daddy's over there. Son, you need to calm down. He said, you're going to lose them. He said, but Daddy, if we keep playing like we're right now, we're going to lose the game. He says, no, son. If we keep playing like we're right now, we're going to win 6-3. But that's the kind of passion they have is but that's the way I feel too. Me and you, if we ever sat on any lead thinking that we're comfortable, if it ain't.
Well, listen to this. Talk about a different life. When I was a kid coming up, my dad was as big an Alabama fan as he was Ole Miss fan.
Wow.
And so we grew up, man, just Bear Bryant, all that stuff, just legend. And so in the early 80s, at, 8 years old, 10 years old, I was kind of at a little crossroads. And I often wonder how much different my life would have been if I had been with Alabama.
Well, you'd have several rings on your hands, and
But I had a championship to celebrate.
yeah. Well,
But I didn't.
But man, we deal with a lot of people down here that call themselves Alabama fans.
Yeah, they not.
And the whole time I'm like, y'all picked Alabama. I was born Ole Miss. I was born into an Ole Miss family. I was born into this. It's all I know. It's all I can feel. I got them tattooed on my arm.
Yeah, it's not a choice.
Alabama, these guys kind of grew up and said, I love college football. I got to pick a team. Let's see. Alabama wins games. That's who I'm for.
Let's go with them.
Shit. I remember up there, me and Jeff Carter playing football in the Grove as kids up there, and we thought we were great and everything. Then we had to turn around and go back to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And in my shit. If you grew up in Tuscaloosa and say you was an Ole Miss fan, yeah. But
say in the 80s.
Yep. But you talked about your daddy. Bear Bryant's the only other coach that you just got to understand. I think the world of Bear Bryant. I was just, God dang, he was tough. But he was that kind of coach back then. The Johnny Vaught was the same way. It was that just tough defensive type mindset, gruff, gargled with gasoline every morning the way he talked.
Yeah.
I love Bear Bryant. But the minute he retired, I knew it wasn't very long for the world. He didn't last 3 or 4 months after he retired. But everybody talks about where they was when JFK was shot. Everybody remembers where they was when they found out Elvis died. I remember what I was doing. I was in home economics class when the kindergarten teacher came walking in. I was in 8th grade. The school I went to up there was K through 12. And the kindergarten teacher come in just squalling, crying. Bear Bryant had died. And they stopped the school during this deal and they broadcast his funeral over our PA system.
Wow.
But, well, that's about it this week. We got.
Well, next weekend we'll be happy or sad.
Yep. I'll why don't you just kind of play the content by ear next week, huh?
Yeah, we will. We'll see what happens. There'll be several games to talk about too. Of course, one game's going to take precedent
with us for sure. Going to definitely take precedent.
I saw where the mayor has estimated that game is estimated to make Oxford $50 million. Does that sound right to you?
Well, I don't know how they're calculating that. It don't sound right because to me, we still can't put no more than about 67,000 in that stadium, and that I don't see us putting more people in that city than we normally do for a.
Well, what that tells you is for big games, that's about what the revenue.
That had to be. They've already made that money.
Yeah.
That's what they're making already. What like you're saying.
Yeah.
Or are they getting some money from like ESPN and all that because it's a playoff game?
I don't know. I know room rates and all that is at an all-time damn high.
I looked at some of the ticket prices today on StubHub. My daughter had already told me about some that it was just unbelievable.
Yeah, secondary market tickets are stupid. And that's for Tulane, man. What if it was Notre Dame? Miami.
I don't know. Wonder what have you looked at? Just kind of ahead. Have you looked at Sugar Bowl ticket prices?
I haven't. But they're always high. They're It's going to be crazy.
Rooms, of course, when it's like Sugar Bowl and all that, there's a lot of rooms in New Orleans.
Yeah.
For this coming up weekend, good Lord. I seen even Neil and them's advertising for Tupelo rooms right now. And
Yeah.
there's Memphis place, man. If you owned me and you owned a daggum condo in Oxford, we could make us a little buck this weekend.
They say just normal houses are charging $7,000-8,000 for the weekend.
Yep. Well, that just about does it for episode 8. Again, Rebel fans, if you like what we're doing, subscribe, like, and share. Give us some comments.
Yep. It's a good train. Get on it. Help us out. We'll see y'all next weekend.
Howdy, Later.